Hi guys. I know it's been quite some time since I've done a video, but I just felt really drawn this morning. Just some stuff was coming through me as I was having breakfast, and basically, it's all around actually taking the time to go inside to reflect, and that may look different to each and every one of us. Sometimes for me, it actually takes me to get completely away from people, to go into nature. There's a particular field that I'm really drawn to, and I just sit on a rock and I don't particularly think about anything, but I just allow whatever to come up, to flow through me. And it's only really when I get myself into those quiet, really, really quiet places where I'm not disturbed by anything. The trappings of the home or the distractions that are there aren't with me, that I actually can sink deep enough within myself to actually work out what's going on. A lot of the time we are rushing through our lives, filling our lives with distractions, whether that's thinking, worrying about the past or future, thinking, worrying about other people in our lives, absorbing ourselves with the lives of other people, reading things, watching the television, playing on computer games, or on our smartphones or our apps, just looking through millions of videos on YouTube or whatever. There's so many different ways that we actually distract ourselves. And the thing that really came through me was so many times we search outside of ourselves for the answers that we seek. We may be experiencing confusion about something, or we feel this pull towards something and we're not quite sure what to do or where that's heading. And we look outside of ourselves. We ask people, what do you think? We read books, we go to our gurus, if you like, the people who we feel are really in tune with their authenticity, I guess. And we kind of look upon them as if they've got the answer for us. And the truth is, nobody does except you. The answers are all inside yourself. There is nothing outside of you with the answers that you're seeking on anything. But sometimes that wisdom within is triggered or unlocked, if you like, by conversations with others, by reading something in a book, by overhearing a conversation, or even just seeing something on a billboard. And in actual fact, that information is your higher self giving you the key codes, giving you those little triggers to unlock that wisdom within you. And it's really then about taking yourself away to that space, whatever that space looks like. Can be in a bath, can be doing something really mundane, it can be sitting in meditation, doesn't really matter what it looks like. And really integrating, really kind of going within, taking that information and then going within. What does that mean to me? How does that make me feel? What is that bringing up for me? And that's the important bit, and that's a lot of the things that we often miss because we're projecting outside ourselves. We think the answers are out there. We think, oh, okay, if I read this passage in this book, then my life will transform. Then I'll be able to make the choices. Then the clarity will come. No. That is just the kind of the first part. That's literally just the trigger for you then to go inside yourself, to dig through your wisdom within, to open yourself up, and sometimes that really gets to look like this outpouring of emotion that needs to be released before you can actually get the revelation. Sometimes we do have to break down before we can break through. But our egos, ourselves, our human self is so challenged by being vulnerable, by actually feeling the truth of what we have inside ourselves. Looking at the shadows really going there, that it avoids all of that. But in truth, that is where your answers lie. It's only by going deep within yourself that you can actually gain that wisdom, that you can actually connect with those nuggets of your own truth. If you purely take the wisdom and the guidance that you see, hear, experience externally in your world, you're only dealing with it on a cognitive level. The magic happens when you actually connect inside, and that takes feeling. That takes really going inside yourself and feeling into things, experiencing emotion. And one thing that I've realized is that is the one thing that I've distracted myself from my whole life. I didn't want to feel. A lot of my childhood, younger adult years was, if I felt, it was painful. I only felt the pain. And I didn't really know what joy was. But in a way, what I've become to understand is, now that I've kind of opened up and allowed myself to fully feel and allowed myself to go there, even through the depths of what feels like untold grief and despair, you kind of then come out the other side in this calmer place where you're then able to see the revelations. You're able to get to the information, the wisdom beneath it all. I suppose people call it the lessons and the gifts. And then you're able to experience the joy. Recently, through some of the most really challenging emotional experiences that I've allowed myself to go through, I found that there's a smile on my face. Even whilst I'm going through the depths of it, there's a smile on my face. And it's like just acknowledging that. If you are opening up to yourself, if you are going inside and you're being challenged, just know, the mantras that really help me is, this too shall pass. Change is the only constant, nothing stays the same. And what will be, really surrender into it. That is the problem. We don't surrender. We hold on, we hang on, grim death, trying to control situations, trying to maintain control, when in actual fact, the gems, the magic happens when you fully let go, and you accept and acknowledge that there is a higher calling, higher energy. You're one part of a whole, and the semblance of control that you think that you have is actually an illusion. And once we let that go, once I let that go and completely surrendered into it, that was when I was able to experience the joy. That was when I was able to get the revelations at the end. And that was where the growth has come from. So the wisdom is inside you. There is nothing outside of you that can give you the answers that you seek. And if you really want to get to the bottom of who you are, what you're here to do, how to be happy and live a joy-filled life, you really have to go within. But again, I stress, it doesn't have to look a certain way. It is how you do that is individual to you. For me personally, because I feel energy, I get very distracted when I'm around people. It's hyper important for me that other people are happy. Always has been. That's a program that's run through my life. So for me, I have to create solitude. I have to create space. So I take myself off on a walk by myself, sit on a rock and just sit for a bit. No expectation, no agenda, just allow whatever to come through. I've actually generated 2 weeks of alone time for me. My partner's on his own adventure. And the funniest thing was that I actually found myself distracting myself with something that I saw on YouTube. And I was like, what are you doing? So, just beware that this is a pattern that runs through all of us in some way, shape or form. And the key is awareness. So just catch yourself. And in that moment where you catch yourself, you get to make a conscious choice. Do I want to continue distracting myself? And you know what? If that's how you feel, then great. Continue distracting yourself. No judgment, no blame. We're all here to have our own life experience. But if you really do want those revelations, if you really do want that clarity, if you want to know who you are, what makes you tick, what gives you joy, then be aware when you're distracting yourself and make that choice to actually tune out of that and continue to go within. Because distractions are all around us. The one thing about this world is it is full of distractions. So yeah, much love on your journeys, and I do intend to share a bit more. I only tend to do it when I'm inspired to do it, and I was this morning, but I feel I've done enough of my own internal work to be able to share more with people. So we're all here to support each other on our own little journeys through this life, our journeys back to who we truly are. So I'm here for you as you are there for me, and we're all in it together. I can't remember the lyrics of the Beatles song, but I Am the Walrus has just come into my head, so there's obviously something in that. Anyway, much love to you all. Take care, have a fantastic day, and just find out how you can reconnect to yourself and what that gets to look like, and then as and when you choose to, you know what to do. Bye.